Hey Aquarius, welcome to your monthly reading for the month of February. I am using Practical Magical Oracle. I don't know what I'm doing with my cards there. And I am also using Lucy Cavendish Shapeshifter Oracle, which is one of my favorite. I do really resonate with Lucy Cavendish's anything, actually. Yeah, love it. Okay, so let's see what's in store for you guys. So the first card that we will mention is based on you, the energy that you're in, and potentially that's influencing you on quite a deep level. That's how I'm interpreting this first card, which we have Face Your Fear, Passion and Power. Okay. And this card basically, to me, is an action card. It's kind of like, go for it. So it could be the energy, I've got two cards flying up. The energy that you are in is really driving you to make changes, to move, which can feel kind of restless. I feel this sense of restlessness with you, but it really is about not allowing insecurities or things that in the past might have hindered you from growth, not allowing them in and just kind of going forward, and just doing what you need to do regardless of anything that, I would say, regardless of insecurities. Dinosaur Friends is a crossing energy with this, which is childhood treasures resurface. Again, to me, this is insinuating that insecurities or things that have prevented you from movement, so fears, are kind of surfacing at this time. However, I do get the sense of you being in an action energy and to kind of embrace those fears in the way of you acknowledging them for what they are, and using them as a strength, right? Acknowledging that they're a part of who we are and have kind of in the past had their place. They may have protected you, but right now you're not in a place you need protecting from these things. This is what I'm sensing, is like you need to tell yourself, I'm not in that space anymore. I'm not that person anymore. I don't have the same values anymore. You've changed and grown. You're not this dinosaur who is, extinct. You are living, you are in this moment. So it is time for you to use that passion and kind of channel it in a way that, again, it is your power. This card can represent bringing things from the past into the future. So it can be people, objects, or cycles going through patterns again. Remember that when we go through something again, there's something there for us to change and shift so that the energy is different from the time before, which again, you are a key ingredient that is very different to who you used to be. So I feel like an understanding of this, of the self, can really help you and be beneficial during this time. We have rest and restore of where we're going with this. So it is a time again for you to nurture and a time for you to not really, I would say, not allow again. I want to kind of emphasize of not allowing the effects of outside energy to be impacting you, and to kind of really assess where you are right now and be in this moment. Stop worrying about time. Stop worrying whether or not you're too old for this, or whether or not, this, you've been doing this for way too long, so it can't possibly work. Like, I feel like it's time for you to live in the moment, not live in the past, not look at what was, what has been, to look at what is now, and to kind of be grateful for where you are based on where you've been. I feel like that's what that energy is here for, is to show you the gratitude and show you the strength and change that you are, and not to be, again, beating yourself up or hindering yourself in this energy. This card is very much of, it may be a time for you to slow down, especially if you're in that restless energy. It felt kind of restless of being like wanting to be all go, go, go. Movement is fine, but again, what are you rushing against? Like, is there a reason why you need it to be quicker than it's meant to be? More often than not, it's not. It is just a desire. Again, if you're worried about things not working out, sometimes we can try and force something to work or happen quicker than it's meant to because we're so anxious of the result. But again, you're being guided to be in the present and not ahead. So stop worrying about the result and enjoy the process. You'll get where you need to go when the time is right. Be kind, charming. This card to me comes up when it's time for you to use your best asset. You're an Aquarius. You know how to talk to people. You know how to communicate. And I would say you know how to sell yourself, right? You know how to do that. So it's time for you to be that charming self. And I guess for me, it is about being in your essence and enjoying this moment. I think you need to remind yourself who you are. There are two cards which are influencing this energy. But I do want to stay with this a little bit. You and your personality is, I feel like, your key asset that helps you achieve what you achieve. It's you, like who you are, the way you work, the way you move in the world. That's your charisma. So that, I feel, is what you need to be, is just be in your element, be in your essence, and not try and be something that you're not. And I think that generally you have the ability to be such a kind-hearted soul. That is what you need to be putting out in the world. The crossing energy is albino alligator, so this is magical protection is necessary, and then the mermaid of immersion, complete commitment. With that albino alligator, to me, it really does say it's time to shield yourself and not allow other energies to influence who you are. So again, if you're been through hardships or been through struggles or challenges, sometimes that can impact how we put ourselves out there, how we feel in the world. Because again, you're feeling a lot of heavy stuff. It's going to impact your mood, and again, so that can be how you showcase yourself. So I feel like it's now time to get up those magical shields so that the outside influences are not being the thing that's driving you, but rather what is within, the true essence being that thing, and to make a commitment to do just that, to start living in your truth and in alignment with the self. Be a little bit more stubborn with yourself. So I would say breaking bad habits and patterns. It's time for you to take yourself seriously, and commit to something, commit to a goal, to commit to a lifestyle. It's time for you to just take yourself on much more seriously. And I do think that your charming personality sometimes even influences yourself. If you're feeling as though, for example, I'm kind of getting like being social and having a lot of fun, you can really influence yourself for you to believe that that's all you're good at, which is obviously not true. And it's about committing to that change of you not undermining yourself. Again, when you don't undermine yourself, it stops other people from underestimating you as well. Embrace your shadow. So it's definitely, we're shutting out the noise, we're letting go, facing the fears, so the insecurities, the things that are not actually true, but were potentially at some point in our life a form of protection. Again, telling yourself that you do not need to be protected against the things you did when you were a child, when potentially, because these dinosaur friends, these are potentially habits and insecurities that you've brought with you this whole time. Like, you're not that same person. You're not at school where you have no control. You're an adult. You are the only one in control. However, remember, even giving and relinquishing your control and decisions and things in your life is you being in control and just passing on that. You know what I mean? You're always the leader in your own life. It's just when we come to that acknowledgement of like, what is my leadership telling others? What is my leadership telling my life? It's telling me that I have no control, that I can't control my surroundings, that I deserve where I am or what I've got. And I feel like this is a time for you to be assessing where you are and your part in that. Embracing your shadow is realizing that the things that you perceive as flaws are actually just a part of who you are, part of your makeup, and coming to acceptance of that. Oh, sorry if that made a loud noise. I scratched the microphone. Once you realize, so what was I saying? Once you realize that they are a part of just who you are and part of your strength, because again, all aspects of yourself is a strength. It's just whether or not the time when they need to be needed or when they are in excess. Anything in excess is negative. Even the positive toxicity, being very positive and only seeing the good in the world, it's actually not healthy, and it is a negative, right? We have to balance, because again, if we only ever see the good in something, then we are at risk of being fooled by what's right in front of us. But when we trust our senses, when we trust how something makes us feel, we read the energy at its authentic self, we can then react on that. And this is then showing you that those when there's a time for those insecurities to come in, like, maybe this is not for me, because you have a lot of strong negative feelings about something. When you realize that what that is, that all of a sudden that insecurity, that little fear that was niggling, becomes a strength. But when that fear is not a reality and it's not the time for it to showcase. It's like, it's not real. It's just, it's your anxiety telling you, feeling anxious, sorry, telling you something that's preventing you from growth. So I feel like you need to come into this balance of seeing yourself in a different perspective, but erasing the insecurities. You're no longer in that space where that is protecting you. It's now actually harming you, because when something hinders you, it harms you. Lunar strength. So the cycle of the moon, we are in the new year of the lunar cycle. So this is a really good positive time. It's saying that the energy is supporting you during this time, and it's showing that you're flowing actually against the natural flow of the planetary alignments and the way that the moon is showcasing at the moment, which is where we want to be. We want to be flowing with the cycles, not against them. So I would say it's a very positive, and yeah, the crossing energy is Sea Queen's blessing. So this is a really good time for you to influence areas of dreams and goals. It's a good energy for you to be working with. So again, follow the moon cycles if that's your thing, and that will be something that may be essential to help you. You are the leader and you are guiding. I do think that you need to be nurturing yourself through this, being more of that, being kind to yourself, being kind to others, and nurturing yourself into where you want to be, rather than forceful, rushing, irrational, that kind of energy. It's about really harnessing the calm, looking at it from a perspective that's going to ease you into the transition onto where you want to be, which means no rushing into anything. The time is not like you need to be done by next week. You have time to work with, so give yourself the time. That is a blessing and a gift that you can give yourself. Have patience. It's just what I'm saying, right? Have patience is allowing yourself, knowing that there's no rush into anything, that you are not working against this invisible timeline. You have time, so breathe, relax, make decisions based on a healthy space. But again, the energy is supporting you, so trust in the process as well. Trust that what you're building will come in time as well. 2 kittens is this crossing energy, so you must choose. You do have decisions to make. I feel like you are torn between deciding things in your life, and I feel like it's something close to your heart. So again, this could be relationships, if you're needing to make a decision like one way or another, whether it is to get into one or whether or not the relationship's good enough, not good enough for you, but not right for you, or not, I feel there's decisions, but it can just be generally day-to-day life. You have decisions to make, and I feel like you're to and froing with some ideas at the moment. This is crossing from have patience into honor your grief, so it really is. And also actually it crosses with rest and restore and be kind. So this card is generally saying, yes, you have decisions to make, but be kind and nurture yourself through them. You have time, which means like don't feel that you need to just get over it and get on with it. That's not the energy that you need to be in. And with that first card, I feel like you should be in that. You don't need to. So it's time for you to bring that stress reaction down, and realize that you do have time and to nurture yourself into this, but you must choose. You do have to make a decision, but again, you're being told that you need to honor your grief, and I would say there's growth in this. So if you feel sad, feel freaking sad. You're meant to feel it. Honor and trust in your feelings, and understand things change, things grow, and that brings a sadness with it sometimes. I would say that you are looking back at something, and I do think that by looking back and contemplating on things, we have dinosaur friends, so I do feel like the past is niggling at you, but I think that what it wants you to see here is that you are different now, that you're not that way. So if you want something that you've had before and you're thinking, it never works out though, this is the healing where you need healing there. But understand that you look to the past to see that, again, you are different, and witness what you went through, provided growth, provided absolute lessons that you needed, and you did learn from it. An elder will teach you, so you have learned from it. So there is something for you to see and witness what you've learned. You are moving on to new beginnings. The next card is new beginnings. So you go from honor your grief to new beginnings. The crossing energy being an elder will teach you. I actually just get this sense of the elder being an old version of yourself. I read intuitively, so it's not always the exact words it says, and I feel like this is sensing with this dinosaur friends and an elder will teach you. They both represent the old coming into acknowledgement, coming into the present, and having wisdom there. So there's definitely something for you to learn from where you've been, but you are in new beginnings, which means that what has been is not what is, and it's not what will be. And that's something I need you to realize, Aquarius. You are coming to this new beginning of starting a new chapter, a new book, a whole new book. This is like a whole new life. Like, you've been where you've been, you've done what you've done. That's not allowed to impact you anymore moving forward. It's there as an influence in terms of you can look back and see where you've been, see how strong you are, see what you learnt, but it's not there as a that's who I am and that's what I will be. All right, it's a memory, and I feel as though you're in this new space of new beginnings and new possibilities. And I do think whatever decision that you're coming to, what decisions you have to make, you're going to make the best choice for yourself, and it needs to come from a place of peace and true authenticity, and not from literally letting the past guide you into making decisions moving forward. Shine your light. So you literally have, up there, embrace your shadow, light and dark, and shine your light and dark. So you are being told to use the whole of yourself moving forward. This is embracing all aspects of yourself, but again, bringing yourself into the light here. When you're embracing your shadow, you're reflecting, you're accepting, you're forgiving. When you are shining your light, you are actively just living in your essence and just being authentically you, and letting that be how you showcase yourself in the world. It's showing all sides of yourself and letting the integrity of that is you effectively lead you towards your goals and dreams. This is the Black Cat. There's the crossing energy with this. This is the final card. Lost magic, atonement, rebalance. It's balancing. The fact that we have embraced your shadow to shine your light really, to me, says that you are balancing this month. You are coming into a balance. I feel like you really are. With this new beginnings, I feel like you are getting yourself into an energy that is so kind of this. How can I word this in a way that it feels? It's like having the soil be so prepped with fertilizer, and it's nice and soft, ready to sow these seeds. You are that soil. I feel like you're getting yourself ready and preparation. So to me, it feels like a preparing month. So I do think that, even though there's decisions to make, it's like, take this month to get yourself into this space where you're ready. So finish things off that need finishing, reflect on what needs reflecting, but again, leave it in the past, leave it behind you, and move on to whatever is suitable for you now. And I do get this sense of, again, you moving on. So you are the soil ready to start. So in a way, this is the foundations, but to me, it's like you're ready to start, not that you have things in place. So don't worry if things are not all in place or aligned or anything. You're prepping yourself to be in a position where that's going to fall into the next steps, okay? Maybe that's March's goal. Maybe it's April's, June's, July. There's no rush, so have patience and just focus on what needs to be focused on. That is your guidance. So thank you so much, Aquarius, for being here. Please subscribe to my channel in order to keep up to date with your monthly and weeklies, and obviously be supportive of me. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. I look forward to spending the year with you.